Good evening, this is Lufia, jumping in for Ancient Cave Run of Lufia 2. This is part 2 of kind of our, I'm going to call it our slow run, because we're actually going through and fighting things. Let's see, we are only on floor 14. I think that pretty much sums it up. We have our standard party guide car, Artie, Maxim, but we have replaced our radish friend Sully with a fish. His name is Zeppy. He is a capsule monster, and thus far he has been fairly useful. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. We are taking it slow because we want to get Zeppy into his master form. And in order to do that, we need to find a rare item drop from a monster on floor 20-something called a pug, which is basically a weird fire chicken. They're mean, and so we want to be as high level as possible before we get to them. We have found a whole whopping nothing useful in terms of gear. No deadly weapons. Lots of Camu armor, which is not a bad item, it's just not, real good. And most importantly, no healing magic again. This is becoming a theme that I'm not okay with. I enjoy healing magic, it keeps me from dying. Just saying. The reason we are not fighting those particular enemies is because they are very bad. They're called Wispies, they have an area of effect lightning spell. They're very fast, and they're usually come in groups of 4. Got in first. Nice. The other enemy we skipped was a golem, because they tend to be very defensively based, and because their sprite doesn't have a they're really hard to get in first on. These enemies sometimes drop a bat rock, so we're hunting them down in case they happen to drop one. Bat rocks let us cast Absorb, which is a spell that lets us steal MP from an enemy. This is nice because MP is a finite resource, and if we were to, let's say, get a healing spell, we are going to use Dakar's IP attack because the Camu armor allows him to heal the entire party in exchange for some IP. So we're feeling a little bit healthier now, which is good, and we didn't have to use an item to do it. Unfortunately, we can't do that again until Guy or Dakar takes some damage, which is kind of counterproductive to our goals. Again, we're going to attack the ghoul over here first. The ghoul is in the front row. You guys are hitting pretty hard. That's mostly because of the leveling we've done. We're not that far ahead, but we're actually a little bit ahead of the normal level we'd like to be. Actually, we're pretty far ahead now that I'm thinking about it, than compared to the normal runs we've been doing. And we've got some not Nothing great or special here for gear. I am not sure what was going on there. Awesome. Doesn't do a ton of damage yet, apparently. I'm actually really liking Zeppy. His attacks do decent damage most of the time, and the ones that don't are area of effect. Francisca, which I believe is a decent, weapon. Okay, we'll go on to floor... Oh, I totally missed that was a healing tile. Floor 16. By the way, floor 15 starts the drop of the most important part of this run, the Dakar Blade, which takes off half of the main boss's hit points in one go. The only thing that would be arguably better right now would be a Gades Blade, which hits 8 times, but that is a blue chest item. Blue chests are randomly situated throughout the dungeon, and each of them has an equal chance of having that whatever drop it is. So there's like 50 or so items. It's very unlikely that we're finding a Gades Blade. Dakar Blade seems to be a bit more reliable. Unfortunately, only Dakar can use the Dakar Blade, which means we need to find something productive for Guy to do. No back row for these skeletons, which is nice. The microphone just did something weird there. I apologize if the sound was weird. Okay. Like I've been saying, we're taking it slow so we can get past those pugs. Once we get past the pug enemies, we're gonna jump back into the normal speed we usually go for this run. Assuming we get the item we want, we're just gonna go ahead and delve quickly, let's say. I wish I'd noticed that healing tile on the last floor before I descended, or before I killed everything first. If there was some enemies left, I may have farmed some IP. You get IP back by getting hit, so if I had noticed that before the healing tile, what we could have done is intentionally just guarded and let the enemies hit Guy and Dakar until they got their IP up a bit, run away from the battle, heal, go back and do the same thing. Even if there's just one enemy, it's something you could do. We may be doing that later in the game, just intentionally getting hit, running away, and then healing and going back in to refill IP if we need to. It's dangerous later in the game, but it's worth it. We're gonna go with that fire dagger over the rod because of the elemental properties. It's only 2 damage difference, but against these undead and like plant-based enemies, the mushroom and the zombie, that sneaky little zombie got in behind me. Good enough. Like I said, the downside of this is it does take a little longer than a normal run. That's why I was kind of trying the faster strategy, but this seems more reliable, especially without the... with Sully, you don't need to get him up to his master form, so you don't have to farm out that specific enemy. Same thing with Darby, who is the Dark Elemental Capsule Monster, who we never really use, because it's not my favorite. I like the pace we're taking through these enemies, at least. Like the run itself is a little slower because we have to stop and fight things. But we are actually doing some serious damage to the enemies here. Antares, which are a variant on Scorpion. They're apparently fire elemental or strong against fire, which hopefully means Zeppy's gonna squish them. Yep. It was a very eager zombie. Okay, the lack of things we've run into makes me think this might be a party room. Switch back to the rod to fight these scorpions. You can see there he did a lot more damage without the fire element weapon on. He still didn't do a ton because he's arty, but every little bit helps. Because these enemies naturally move at 90 degrees, driving them into that right wall like that means we can just go straight up and get a side attack on each of them. It's not a guaranteed get in first, but a decent chance at least. The fish kick that Zeppy is doing is water elemental, that's why it does so much damage compared to his normal attack, which did like 20. Ooh, that was rather unfortunate. Just making sure the random secondary attacks don't wander too far. When you finish attacking an enemy, if there are other people assigned to attack that same enemy, they will generally, or they attack a random target instead of necessarily the best target. I guess I'm not sure how they would determine that otherwise, but basically I'd want to make sure that the two that were already attacked continued being attacked. Guy and Car are building some IP. I will continue to just take that as a positive. It seems like they have low HP, but Dakar actually, I believe, still has more HP than RD or Maxim, even though it looks really low. The danger of teleporting enemies is, of course, that they can just appear literally right next to you. Luckily, that one did not appear facing me, or that side attack might have been, that side attack in my favor might have been a surprise attack in theirs. Pumpkin Jewel, awesome. Not the absolute best thing in the world, but it is somewhat useful. It increases magic resistance and intelligence. We're going to put it on Maxim, as I longingly wish that I had a healing spell yet again. These fighter orcs have a chance to drop an item called a power gourd. We can use it if we don't get the trick spell to buff our attack in the final boss fight. Usually don't think of Dakar as my healer, but hey, we'll take what we can get. If an enemy has a chance at a drop that you would like, always kill that enemy first. That's weird. Just got the item out of a treasure chest that we were potentially getting from the fighter orcs. You probably noticed with the teleporting enemies, I try and do a little bit of a stutter step. See that their teleport animation has like 3 stages to it, and basically by holding down the button, it's a lot harder to react to what they're doing. Therefore, much easier for them to get a sneak attack on you by randomly teleporting. think, yes, these enemies don't like water much, the sand ones. This was not a fight I terribly wanted to do, but I do want to get into this room. So since we ran away, repositioned, did the get in first. And we got an earth fruit, which is not at all helpful to us. the luck rapier is a cursed weapon. We're gonna feed that to our capsule monster friend soon, which might mean that it is time to feed the capsule monster. So the fruit that we just got dropped is the one that you use to feed the air element. You always want the opposite one. So we're gonna feed the fire fruit to Zeppi. But that sand golem drops the earth fruit. I can't remember if feeding them off element. I think feeding them the fruit of their element gives them a big boost that you normally wouldn't get. I'm not sure what feeding them a fruit from a different element completely does. But if we were using the air elemental, Gusto, more fire elemental scorpion dudes. Hopefully we'll get a fish kick. There we go. Floor 21. The change in music. We should have probably some bees to start avoiding. And this is where the red saber, decent weapon for Maxim, will start spawning. What I'd really like would be a deadly rod or a car blade. Those are all enemies that I really don't want to fight that badly. Where we are right now. That is a winger. It's another fast-moving enemy that gets multiple attacks per turn that we don't want to fight. They're really good at sneaking in and getting side or back attacks. So yeah, this floor looks not very good for us. There's not a lot of enemies we can fight safely. Dread is a mediocre spell. I'll continue saying until I'm blue in the face that I would really like a healing spell at some point here. Awesome. Long knife. Okay, I'm gonna get my capsule monster chart out. We will feed our capsule monster. I have a feeling that I accidentally escalated him by giving him the thing that he wanted. Is that like a level 4 item that he's requesting now? 5? Royal Dress is a level 5 item. We're intentionally feeding him some bad items first. Let's see. Wire, I think, is something is really low. No. Mace? No. Whip? No. Knife, I know is. Small knife. Okay, now we've got him back down to a reasonable level. So we're gonna go ahead, do that again, and we will give him like a Okay, so now we want to go with like the dagger, mace, whip. The short sword. Light knife. Apparently wires are a level 3. Again, kind of alternating between decent items and low-end items. Let's see what happens if you feed the fruit. Yeah, that's what I thought. Glass ring I don't think does anything. Regardless. A couple of these lower level ones, and then we'll escalate up. Light dress. We've got like 3 light dresses too. And that takes him up to the next level. Which is apparently a frog with a stick or spear of some kind. We're only going to feed him one of the fire daggers. We're going to go ahead and do the hand axe and the Francesca. Lab coat because we can't use it at all. We're going to keep the fire dagger just to be safe. In case I want that fire element weapon for Artie. Okay. We have a slightly better Zeppy. And we will use that to fight these earth vipers, which have been a persistent pain in my posterior throughout these runs. Okay, let's see how this goes. So far, I'm seeing, please, you should run away now. That was pretty impressively awful. I knew there was a reason I was avoiding that enemy. Okay. These guys are a little bit better at least. We want to kill one of them as fast as we can, just to be safe in case they decide to do their AoE. I'm a little confused why Frog Kick isn't doing as much as Fish Kick seemed to be doing. Okay. I really don't like this. Okay. We're just gonna go ahead and head over to the next one. Okay, those lizard men move 90 degrees again. We may be able to get in and fight some of these things here, but again, we're starting to get into the range here where it would be really nice to have, or where it's really hard to continuously fight things like this because of the lack of healing. So if I can get these guaranteed back attacks, then I'll keep going. I can't remember what this does. I guess we'll find out. Not enough, whatever it did. Long animation for low damage. Mage Shield. Okay, we'll give that to Maxim just because Artie's got the Tecto gloves already that nobody else can use. Check these last couple rooms in vain, just in case they have a healing spell. I am more than a little scared right now. We're just gonna escalate this a bit. I'm hoping that means that this will not end in us getting killed. Not like we're using the MP for anything else, unfortunately. Okay. That armor's kind of lurking and scaring me as well. I keep ending one square off of where I want to for these. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna Divine Cure up while we have the chance. Approaching level 20, which is actually really good for this point, I believe. Sometimes you overthink things, and it ends poorly. I did that one too many times. There we go. Okay, so we're basically using this as an opportunity to heal. That's why I went out of my way to get that back attack. Also, you may have noticed I used 2 Braves on Guy. Guy has the lowest guts rating out of the non-RD characters. That determines how fast your IP rate goes up. So I used that as a way to kind of... I gave both of those to him because out of the characters, he's gonna get IP back a little bit slower than Maxim or Dakar. And I want to make sure that I'm getting as much IP out of both of him and Dakar as possible for the for healing with the camo armor. I love and hate this room. Oh my. Let me go ahead and give that guy. This is the Mega Axe. It is the strongest attack. I believe it has the highest attack power out of any weapon in the game. I could be wrong. It's at least one of the highest attack powers in the game. Unfortunately, only only guy in the card can use it. I would have really liked to put a good powerful weapon on Maxim at some point here. But hey, it's a blue chest item, it's really pretty solid, it's not the best thing in the world, but paired up with a Hedora rock later, that could actually be useful against the boss even, so. Given our terrible record of items right now, I'm gonna take what I can get. That's a B. Bs are really, really awful in this game. Just like in real life, I see a B and I go the other way. I'm not a fan. We're gonna have to fight this one. Well. I have no idea if water is going to do anything against them, but I feel like it's Artie's strongest option starting out to do as much damage to all of them at the same time. I am a little bit glad that Artie is faster than them, and apparently I didn't need to worry, they didn't actually use their special attacks. They have a chance to paralyze you, which is very nasty, and they're usually a little bit, they're usually faster than Artie. So, I guess our leveling has prevailed there. Gotta love these narrow hallways with bees in them. And these are the next tier of bees. They've built up my hopes. So armor bees are faster than Artie still. Frog song is good. Hopefully that'll do a little damage to all of them. I'll take it. The advantage of being overleveled is the enemies that are normally really scary are a little less so. Normally at this point in the dungeon we'd be about 10 levels lower potentially. Just a little bit more here and then call it a day a little bit. I know it's a little bit shorter of a video, but I'm okay with that right now. It's been a long couple days. You may have noticed I'm not being super talkative, and that's definitely part of it. Zephy ran away. That's the first time that's happened in a while. I'm gonna have to look up what his other, what Frog Song actually does, if it has any special effects. Because I want to say it probably does some sort of status effect that we're not seeing. It doesn't tell you. Stuff like that, unfortunately. That's not what we want. We're so close. These guys are just kind of nasty. There we go. Champion is the best healing spell in the game. Pound for pound. And there's the pug. So, this is the enemy that we have been prepping for the entire time. He kind of runs, they run in a kind of circle. So I think if we do this, he should go running by us. I am going to use one champion. They have an area of effect fire spell that hits everyone, or have a chance to use it at least. Make sure that nobody's equipped with fire-based weapons. So, the plan here is going to be very simple. These are fire-based enemies. I'm going to assume that the water-based spell will quench them, and hopefully Artie can kill them before they get a chance to react. They did not drop the fruit, but we know we can take them out in one go, which is nice. Hopefully we will get some more of them. I'm gonna double check. I think we already went through this, yeah. I'm gonna hope we get some more of them on the next couple floors. If we don't get any more, that means that, yeah. Not taking any chances here. Nope, no fruit. It's only about a 7% drop rate, but per enemy. So even if, so when we're fighting 4 of them, there should be a decent chance. I don't know what those odds are. Somebody can do the math. At the end of the day, it's 7% 4 times, but it's still not very good. Okay, I did not notice how few magic ups I got. Magic recovery items I had. Be a little disappointed if after all of that, you know, extra training just to fight those enemies, we don't end up actually getting any of the drop that they have. Oh, I like that even less than I normally would. So, those squids are called evil fish. They will murder us completely in one go. There is almost no hope, even being more leveled up. That's actually why we stopped using, they ended our last run, because I got stuck with one in the way, and because I was trying to get a side attack on them and I didn't. They use an attack called 8-legger that will completely, it's AoE damage to the entire party that just nukes you. They have a similar fruit drop to the pugs, but the opposite. We're gonna have to fight the dog. Should be good here. Dogs aren't that scary. Zeppy apparently thinks dogs are that scary, but he is a frog, so we will find that acceptable. That was a lot of damage. That's what the Mega Axe does. Well, I'm a little sad. It looks like we may have just missed all of the drops from the pugs there. I didn't know those guys did that. We no longer want to be here. And I just got cornered by the evil fish because it turned around when I didn't think it was going to. Well. Miracle on Artie. Regain on Maxim. I guess we're gonna prepare for battle? Because I don't think there's a whole lot else I can do. Because this guy's gonna go... Oh wait, no, he's gonna go down a square, so if we go up... Oh good. I didn't think I was gonna be able to sneak past him. By the way, that tentacle attack that Ammonite did is basically the same thing that those guys do. Okay, I think we are out of pug territory, so I'm gonna call this quits for now. I know it wasn't very many floors, maybe a little shorter than a standard video, but not that much shorter, and I feel like we got a lot done. Even though we didn't end up actually accomplishing things, we got to the pugs that we'd been preparing for. We fed our capsule monster, got a frog, and got a Mega Axe. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment, etc. And I will catch you all next time.